Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. Oh, oh, hey ya, hey ya. All right, hey ya. All right, all right, all right, all right. I am setting up the link on Instagram. Um, so it's done now. And now I will get back to you, my sweet, sweet peeps. Okay, so we are doing a spring cleaning Yoni theme. And if you have seen this before, it's impossible because it's happening right now, unless you're one of those clairaudient folks, which it's totally possible to do. I'm going to do the introduction on Instagram right now. Cancel. I'm doing a post. Okay, I know how to do this. I'm good at this, theoretically. We're going live, baby. We're going live. And we're doing our introduction here on YouTubey Tubes Tubblesons. Alright, that filter's too much. And this filter is just right. Working on the lighting. Here we go. Will this make my computer fall over? It won't. Can you see that backwards? Does it say Aloha is fearless? Because it means it. Is what it means. All right. Hi, y'all. It's kind of dark on Instagram. I guess this filter wasn't a great idea. But for those of you who are interested in Yoni steaming, this is way too loud for me. I have this cancel. What's going on? What are you trying to do right now? What are you trying to do? Okay. Let me turn it down. I don't know what you're doing, but okay. So I was meditating, as you know, and from a previous post. For those of you who have seen it on Instagram, um, and you know, the goal for me is to publicly do one Yoni steam a month. So I'm offering a group healing, group meditation for those with yonis or those who know how to do the king steam or the in-between steam or however you want to put it. But yes, this is a very powerful process. Oop. And thankfully, I just remembered, turn on your water, girl. Turn on your water. So for those of you who have prepared for the Yoni steam or have are watching this in a replay, now would be a good time to set your water on for those of you who are interested in Yoni steaming with us today. So I just want to say thank you for checking it out. Let me tell you about what Yoni steam is. So Yoni steam, I don't know, if you're doing the Yoni steam, you can't be that novice on Yoni steaming. However, a Yoni steam is a process that a ritual, an activity, a cleansing process. It should not be done for people who have an intrauterine device, are bleeding at this time, or menstruating, right? So if you're bleeding or pregnant, because heat is not good for a growing and developing nervous system in uterus. I mean, nervous system. The heat is actually going to soften the muscles, open and dilate the blood vessels, and there are a lot of blood vessels in the yoni and anus, and those can actually not only can they release toxins, but they can also receive the oleochemicals, essential oils. Don't use essential oils. I'm going to put that out there. Do not use essential oils in your Yoni steams. Whoever is doing this, do not say that. Do that. That stuff is way too concentrated and way too strong. And within the steam, it becomes so volatile that it could harm you. You also don't want to steam where it's so hot that it's uncomfortable. You want to be comfortable in the steam. You want to allow yourself to open and receive, open and exchange. And, the sounds of life are going to constantly be there. So just allowing yourself to be aware. And I like to do open eye meditations, part of the Yoni steam process. It exchanges with the beneficial nutrients. I say nutrients, but the correct term is oleochemicals. It's all of the working elements within your herbs, your flowers, your roots that exchange with your yoni and your anus in that space and exchanging those blood vessels. So, one of the major things that I use yoni steaming for is healing trauma. Trauma is prevalent everywhere, and if you'd like to think that you're trauma free, you must not be on earth, baby, at least in 2023, because we're all going through it. But let's think about this for a minute. If we're all going through trauma and we're healing collectively, taking the time to shift the anxiety out of the nervous system, realigning with that which you truly desire, that which you crave, that which you're calling in, can take a toll on your nervous system if you're used to being under stress, under trauma. And I'm not talking about, I'm gonna get wasted and go hang out and do some kind of nonsense. That's not you checking in with your body. It's you checking out of your body and escaping, and a process of feeling, accepting, and releasing. Right? What happens when you this is a broad analogy, but what happens when you eat something? It goes in your mouth, chew it up, you swallow it, it goes down, becomes extracted and all the nutrients, and then your body decides what's waste and it's not going to use. And sometimes there's harsh chemicals in there, and so your body has to then process that through. And these are working multiple systems, like your liver and your endocrine system, depending on how it reacts with your hormones, and then it still gets to your stomach, and then your small intestine, large intestine, and all of these, and then it comes out, right? Waste comes out. Well, the thing that happens with what we consume emotionally, energetically, these are two different things, mind you, but what we consume through our eye gates, ear gates, and what we say out of our mouth, we then have to actually digest it with our nervous system. We have to digest it with our really well formed and well thought up logical brain, right? And so our brain is constantly trying to find um, harmony and balance. But if the harmony and balance is in a place of stress and trauma and things like that, excuse me, then it can have havoc on your nervous system, and it can create imbalances, and you can create more cortisol than necessary, more hormones that may or may not balance you. You can even kind of check out of your body. A lot of people are finding themselves checked out of their body, or their body is awakening and telling them things, or diseases are happening. And one way to be able to shift this is through the act of meditation, that combined with the act of yoni steaming, which allows the plants to exchange their nutrients, their vitality with you. They work for you. So, one of the studies that I have in my book talks about how flowers, when placed in a hospital, um, they actually die faster than flowers, let's say, just sitting on a kitchen table, because they're actually giving of their essence, giving of themselves and their light that they have captured through the process of photosynthesis. They're giving of themselves to those who are sick, to those who are in need. So they actually wilt and die faster. In the essence that they want to help people, they want to connect with people, they want, because we are here as cohabitating species, right? And that's one thing that plants really do for us, especially if you're following a plant-based um, eating style, is they give you nutrients, they give you love, they give you an exchange. And this can truly be felt in the woman and her flower, the yoni. And the yoni is, our lower area, everything altogether, not including the anus, but for those of you, it's there, right? And there are a lot of blood vessels there. That's a whole nother um, discussion in philosophy. But the importance of the yoni steam helps not only connect the woman to her outer organs, but her inner organs as well, because the heat stimulates this area that creates life, that creates from what is one tiny little seed of her own with that which she has, you know, been given. She creates even more. She creates a whole wondrous life. She grows an entire being inside of her. And that could be not only a physical baby, but also an, a creative idea, a business, a piece of art. All of these things are constantly being birthed. And whether you're a woman or a man, we all know that things can be birthed from us. We all know that we can contribute with that which is without us, like paint and or pad and paper, or even using technology or music or sound or wind, right? Because our breath can create a song. Oh. But I'm getting a little off topic. I'm kind of winding our way there. So now's a good time. Get your herbs going. If you've got one herb, even if you've got just salt water, if you've got steam. I've shown in other videos how to do the on the ground setup. But this one, I'm just gonna go ahead and get us started and set up. So I have my bowl and trusty bucket here. I've got a towel to not only insulate, but to prevent, or not prevent, because it can't fully prevent. Who am I to say something is absolute, right? That would be foolish to assume that something is absolute. But let me see if I can show it here without having to pop up. No, I'm just kidding. But am I though? Okay, so I have my bucket, my towel to insulate the plastic from showing. I think that's okay, but you can't really see my face. You see the plastic from showing on the side, and that is going to be ready for my hot water. And then I've got my awesome custom design Yoni seats here that's going to fit right on top of my bucket. I'm going to sit there and do our meditation soon. I think I'll go ahead and move this a little over here because that looks better for y'all. I don't know. I might have to lift it up a little bit. Okay. But let's go ahead and talk about what the point of our Yoni steam is today. Okay, so the Yoni steam tonight, and this is actually early for those of you who are ready for it. Spring cleaning. Da, 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 da. Okay, so it's not a caveat, but it's an additional information that you might not have, or something I talk about in my book is I talk about epigenetics. And one thing I emphasize is the epigenetics of trauma and what that does to our bodies. So not only are we in expressing and responding to our current stresses, we are responding to the stresses of our ancestors. And with that response to the traumas of our ancestors, there can be things inside of us locked within that we don't even know, but we have these propensities for a propensity for fear of water, heights, getting chased by dogs, being shot by white people, like all kinds of, people stealing our land. We could have these things that are just being triggered inside of us, being hated because of our color, or being suppressed because of our our women, because we're a woman, or because of our sexuality, or, you know, there's there's so many layers to the traumas and things that we are healing collectively. But as you take the time, you can actually shift your epigenetics using meditation, and the coupling that with the Yoni steam accelerates that process deeply, and the healing is so deep. So people, okay, my water is going. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. Give me just a second. So people have this concept. Yeah, so hot. So we're gonna let it cool off for a little bit and continue our conversation. People are so concerned with what it means to be healed and whole and all this, but you can't start off wrong and end up right. However, you can start to restructure, and meditation itself can restructure the epigenetic. When you have a little bit more knowledge about genetics and DNA and things like that, there's some basic things. DNA opens and closes, and the things that are open are more likely to express, and the things that are closed are less likely to express, but can be expressed under certain conditions. If you have been conditioned to be highly anxious, I mean, even to the moment of which I talk about in my birth, and I won't go too deeply into it, but birth itself has been hijacked, and the baby is now forcibly removed from the mother or set out within, um, oh my goodness, I can't remember the word right now. Right now, cut open, baby removed, right? So their timing of entering into the world is completely different. Now, and don't get me wrong, I know that there's all kinds of um, reasons that some people need to have birth process be with a C-section. However, what happens is you're removed from the mother. You may or may not touch the mother's skin, because babies will naturally crawl towards the breast. They may or may not be wiped forcibly, poked, prodded, light shown in their eyes. Now, mind you, you're in a dark space that's completely um, peaceful, but when you are birthed, depending on your style and place of birth, it could have been a very traumatic experience. And we actually hold that in our body. My physical example of that is I have brachial palsy. So when I was pulled out of my mother with forceps, um, they pinched the nerve in my shoulder, and how they loosely explained to me was, "Your brain says it hurts. Don't use it." Well, it's more than that. When I spoke to my midwife, she said it sounded almost like they experimented on you. And I was born in a military hospital, and we know that they don't necessarily have the best rap. Not that people aren't people and things aren't amazing, but you get what I'm saying. So I was pulled out. They used forceps, which are big salad tongs, and they pinched and they pulled my shoulder. And in doing that, my midwife says that I've seen that happen, and all I did was massage the baby and release those muscles and relax them back. And the baby was able to grow normally and have a function of its entire body and all of that wonderful stuff. Now, In my case, that's not what happened. What they did was they said to my mother, "You did something wrong. You didn't push, or you pushed when you said when I didn't tell you to." They tried to push all the blame off on her instead of actually admitting, "Yeah, that wasn't right." Because even when my grandmother, who was there in the room with her, saw that, she said, "They clipped down so hard. I know that that wasn't okay. That didn't seem right." And here I am, almost 39 years later, with pinched nerve and an arm that doesn't have full capacity, and um, a back and musculature that has formed under these types of circumstances. And you may have your own story. You may know someone else who has their own story about trauma that was induced during birth that could have been easily mitigated had there been a midwife or a doula or someone there that actually understood how birth happens, how the yoni actually receives and gives, how this whole infrastructure that we have that's been homogenized and told that it's one way when it's really multiple ways. There are several ways to get to the number 9. And the fact that we have all this technology is an amazing, beautiful thing. But it also gets to be balanced with the natural processes and orders of things. And that's where we are coming together to biohack and use this time to create, not only acknowledge the trauma and release that trauma, but create the space for something new to grow, for something loving and fulfilling to come in. And we get to determine what that is for us individually. And so, as we get together, and for those of you who want to do this Yoni steam, I suggest you catch on over to my YouTube channel, because that's where I'm going to put it. It's all on my YouTube channel, which is, there's a link in my bio. So, and because I like how it's cataloged, I like how you can do the timing. You can fast forward through all the fluff that I just talked about if you already understand the concept, or if you're trying to get in the mood. Because us ladies love to get in the mood. Everybody loves a little foreplay. Who am I gonna say? And so the mental foreplay, the preparing the self for not only acknowledging the trauma that one carries, but releasing it so that they can truly receive. Because unless you dig up those old crops, they can grow back. And what they can still grow back. The idea of them can still grow back, but you can plant so many seeds of other varieties in that place to prepare you to have a very fruitful harvest this year. So this is the beautiful part about spring. It's the thawing, it's the preparing of the garden. We know how much space we got, we know what we want to clear out, and we know we want to grow something in there. Or maybe we want to throw a handful of seeds out and hope something sticks. But what you work on and what you focus on and what you practice over and over will actually bring you what it is that you want to receive. So I just want to say thank you so much for listening to that. And I say we get started on the YouTube channel. So I think how it's going to work is oh, before I go, let's talk a little about some of the things you saw in the picture. So I have my herbs and my water. I actually want my water to cool off a little bit, so give me a second here to set it up. Ooh, ah, woo, ah. So that's how you know it's too hot. And I have a Pyrex at the bottom. Let that cool off on the side over here. Oof, you see all that steam? Can you see that? Oh, it smells so lovely. I picked a really romantic blend of like roses and chocolates and lavender for relaxation and ease into this process. Oh, let's go ahead and stretch it out. Back rolls, yummy, yummy. Okay, so I'm going to say that for the YouTube channel, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about these. So these are my Yoni eggs. And I'm going to be working with this practice after the Yoni steam. I will not be filming that. But this is to not only get my energy flowing, but also to, you're working the muscles. There's like a reflexology within the vaginal layout. There's also um, healing and ovarian breathing and energetic um, womb holding and growing, and all from the wonderful Montauk. Chia has a great channel. You should check him out. He has some really cool info for you. So I'm actually thinking about maybe, should I do it? You tell me later. But doing a Yoni healing and a trauma healing course. So I really want to call in a lot of love for myself and call in a lot of presence and self-care. So I'm going to be using these eggs afterward. They're actually not that big, so they'll be good for helping massage those inner muscles and build those channels of energy for me. So, well, it actually seems pretty nice. So let's head over to the YouTube channel. For those of you who are interested, the link is in my bio, and if you can't, it's the second one down. Ooh, let me put this on. Oh, yes. I'm gonna love this. Okay, check out my YouTube channel, March 2023. That's how it's labeled. If this is a later time that if you're able to see this, and yeah, see you there. Ciao. Enjoy your spring, and let's get cleaning. Okay, let me finish this report. March. Maybe I should have all this stuff typed out. Huh? Maybe next time that'll be the better idea. Just have it ready to go. Should I agree? Yoni Steam intro. Check out the YouTube for full video. Hashtaggery. In the hashtaggery. Yoni Steam. Alright. Oh, wow, I can't spell. Okay, done. Yoni Steam because why would I do that? It's doing all this extra stuff. Okay. Okay. They got some nice. Okay. Okay. Let me just get a drink of water. Check my. Oh, right. Let's see. Is it? I have to raise it a little bit. There you go. This is actually one of my favorite steaming dresses. Oh, yeah. Feels great. So go ahead and get comfortable. Feel into your body. Place your hands on your womb. Soften your belly if you're holding it really tightly. And just relax. Allow the steam to warm you and awaken your femininity. We do something called a belly check-in, a womb check-in. It shouldn't be too hot, shouldn't be too cold. You want to feel it, but you don't want to be burning. And remember, don't be doing this if you're pregnant or on your period. Those are different feminine ceremonies that our bodies take us through. This is for tapping in to our womb. So take a few breaths here and feel into what is your womb telling you. Does it have any emotions? Does it want to say anything? Allow the heat to soften and awaken your undercarriage. Allow the heat to really bring out everything that you're ready to get rid of for the spring cleaning. Maybe it's self doubt. Where does that come from? That voice that keeps telling you you're not good enough, you don't have enough talent, you are a waste of it's a waste of time to love yourself or to take care of yourself. You can't show up in your relationships. Maybe you keep self-sabotaging and you wonder why. Maybe it's good things happen, but they don't happen to you. Maybe you have jealousy. Maybe you have anger. It's okay. Maybe you have a righteous anger that comes from deep within you that's so in depth yours, but not yours. Maybe you're just not satisfied. Maybe there's more. Maybe you feel great and you just want greater, but you've never had it. People in my family, they've never been married. People, that, I gotta stay quiet to survive. I can't be who I am. I won't accept me. What is this? These voices in the head. Where is it coming from? And maybe you just want to separate from that so you can have a new voice in your head that says, I'm worthy, I am loved, I'm amazing. Maybe you are stuck in your habits. Maybe you're addicted to food or alcohol or drugs, or maybe you use something else to run away from the fact that you have pain. You have anger. Maybe you have anger. Maybe you were abused, or maybe even one of your ancestors could have been abused, or oppressed, or racism. Maybe you carry guilt or shame. It wasn't okay to be who I was. Maybe I was, I brought my mom or my dad down, or maybe I wasn't good enough. Maybe you were. Imagine that. Knowing that you are worthy, knowing that you are more than enough. Whatever's rising to the surface for you. Maybe it's a financial thing. We've always been poor, we've been on subsistence programs, or maybe I have to work so hard that I don't have time to take care of myself. I gotta take care of all these other people. Maybe the only way that anyone want to love me is if I act a certain way or dress a certain way. Maybe there's all of these maybes that have been holding you back. Maybe it's even, I'm not smart enough. How can I get these things? How can I move to the next level? Just allow it to come up and see how your womb feels about that. Open to the softness that is the Yoni steam, this gentle, loving act, contracting and stimulating the uterus, stimulating those outer labia, inner labia, opening the vaginal canal, softening, moistening, steam, warmth, opening. And for those of you who have had normal menstrual cycles and cramp, or normal menstrual cycles, cramping, bleeding, you know what it bees when the uterus speaks, but this is a softer conversation. This is a softer, more gentle way to have that inner conversation with yourself. I want you to relax into the womb. And envision on your inner eye your womb like a screen, a projector screen. What images pop up? Are they you as a child? Are they someone telling you, no, you can't have that, you're not worthy of that, or no, we can't afford that? So you thought, well, I can't afford that, I can't afford everything. Shut up. Oh, I guess I gotta be quiet. Nobody wants to hear me. Stop whining, you. Or maybe it's just survive, just get through this. Maybe it's regret. Maybe it's guilt or shame over being molested or abused, and now you put yourself in abusive situations or relationships. And maybe your mother and father didn't get along, and now you don't know how to love or receive love or give love. Maybe nothing like that happened. Maybe it wasn't as wild as the things you saw on TV or life. So you always thought you were falling short. There's so many possibilities. What is there for you at this moment? Breathe, keep breathing. Allow the womb to relax and soften and open and release. And through the steam, envision those painful memories slipping out into the water, being replaced by love and support and sunshine delivered to you from flowers and herbs that you used in your steam. Their medicine is there and has been designed and cultivated by you for you. Your intention was there, is there, has always been there. And that's why you were drawn to this moment. Allow it to release. I like to naturally rock back and forth. Let my spine have a little space. Soften and push out the belly, relax it. Now suck the belly in, activating it, making yourself aware of it, and relax again. Now, shift our focus from releasing to envisioning what it is that you want right now to cultivate. What is it that you want right now to plant the seeds of for spring? What are you looking for to harvest this summer and fall? Is it the possibility of love? Is it the possibility of the healthy body? Is it the new mindset, the belief in yourself and your creative power? What is it that you want to create? Trust this. Trust it right now. A better sleeping routine, more financial security. Is it your business? Is it your self-care and self-love practices? What is it that you want to grow? Is it connections with your family? Is it just healing for yourself? What's something that you've been putting off or pushing away from yourself because you didn't think you were good enough? Something you've been self-sabotaging and you didn't notice. You just keep getting so close, but yet you're so far. Breathe into that space. What is the womb saying? What is it calling for? Forgiveness, patience, freedom to speak her mind. Maybe it's stillness. Maybe it's time. Settle in to what the womb is calling from you. Maybe it wants you to dance. Maybe it wants you to eat more healthy local vegetables. Maybe it wants you to eat less processed foods. What is your womb clearly telling you? And if you're just new to this practice and hearing your body, just take time with this. And know that these intuitions, these guidances that come from within will be there. They will come. Maybe you're just open and free and ready to create, co-create with the universe. Trust that too. Now, anchor that in. If you've been given some solid advice or things you don't think you can remember, write it down. This is a perfect time to do some journaling in for that. To anchor it into our uterus, to anchor in the seeds that it's planting. Why don't you go ahead and massage your belly? Put your hands together like this and squeeze in and up and around. So in and pull up and release. And pull up. Pull your lungs, raise your shoulders, the top of your head, and release. And pull in from underneath and squeeze it all together in like a wave, being supported as if there is a force opposite of gravity, pulling us up from the center of our head in our womb. And release. And one more time. And release. It's as simple as that, planting the seeds, allowing the flowers to give us what they need, and allowing us to release and know that Earth is taking all that we're giving her. Now, we may not be able to end up completely right because we were started wrong, but we can get very, very close. We can cultivate that which we desire. And, ooh, that was a lot of work. I feel a huge energetic shift and a phase. The one thing I'm very excited about is knowing that having planted these seeds with you this spring, I know we're going to harvest it. And we will keep getting better each and every generation. We're going to take our hands from our womb, draw it up to our hearts, around our breasts, and down to the belly. And we're going to do that 7 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And to make sure we allow ourselves to receive, because that was more of the outward giving from our collective space, right? Because we gave. Now we're going to allow ourselves to receive and pull back in and bring down from the heart in to our uterus. And around 2, 3, 4. Oh, really receive that love. 5, 6. Material support. Spiritual connection, energetic connection, wealth and abundance. Always provided for with so much love, protection. Let that sink in. Fill in those gaps. Let's place one hand over our heart, one hand over our uterus. Take a deep breath in from your diaphragm all the way up to the top of your lungs and release. Do that 2 more times. And pull your hand down to your heart. Remembering who you are, allowing yourself to be without judgment or self criticism for what is there, and releasing it. And cultivating that which you know you deserve and you know you truly want, and standing within your boundaries and knowing that it's there for you, it's bound to grow in no time. So, welcome to spring. Welcome to your womb. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me. For those of you who are ready, now would be a good time for some egg Yoni work. For those of you who have partners, now is a great time to cultivate some energetic flow and creation with your partner. And until next time, ciao for now. And may all of your seeds grow a beautiful harvest. Stay blessed, stay golden, and remember, you were made for this golden life.